Monsters of the Midway, Bears fans, this one's got the whole city lighting up like Soldier Field on a Sunday night. It's been a grind this season, with injuries piling up and the secondary looking like a ghost town, but out of nowhere a spark has ignited. You can feel the shift, that raw energy building as Chicago starts to roar back into contention. Something huge just dropped in the Bears' world, a move that's got everyone from the north side to the south side talking football fever. If you're part of this crew, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. This community runs on real fans like you. Now let's cut to the chase, the man who's turning heads and shaking up the defense, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Yeah, that Chauncey, the veteran DB who just landed in Chicago 2 weeks ago, and he's already rewriting the script on what this season could be. Signed on October 29 to patch up an injury-riddled secondary, CJGJ hasn't just filled a spot, he's exploded onto the scene like a thunderclap over Lake Michigan. Picture this, his debut, a wild, back-and-forth thriller on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bears claw their way to a 47-42 victory, and Gardner-Johnson. He's right in the thick of it, racking up tackles, reading plays like he's got a crystal ball, and reminding everyone why he's one of the league's edgiest corners. But wait, it gets better. Week 10 rolls around, Chicago hosts the New York Giants, and it's another nail-biter 20-20 win for the Bears. That's when CJGJ truly announces himself. 15 tackles total across those 2 games, 12 of them solo, 3 sacks that had the Giants' O-line scrambling, and that game-changing forced fumble against Big Blue. Down in the trenches, needing momentum like oxygen, he strips the ball loose, hands it right back to the offense, and flips the script on a game that could have slipped away. Fans, you know that feeling when a new guy walks into the locker room and just fits. That's Gardner-Johnson. NFL.com's Bobby Kaunak nailed it on November 9. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is in the running for midseason pickup of the year. And why not? He joins a Bears defense that was already the league's most opportunistic heading into Week 10 with 19 takeaways before he arrived. Now, they've hit 20 thanks to his spark plug energy. This isn't some flash in the pan, it's a reunion story with a twist. See, CJGJ and Bears defensive coordinator Dennis Allen go way back, New Orleans Saints from 2019 to 2021, where Allen molded him into the versatile weapon he is today. Safety nickel underneath coverage, even blitzing like a heat-seeking missile. Allen knows exactly how to unleash him. But let's rewind a bit, because Gardner-Johnson's path to Chicago reads like a gritty underdog tale. The 2025 season started rough for him. He kicks off with the Houston Texans, but after just 3 games they cut him loose. Then a quick stint on the Baltimore Ravens practice squad, nothing sticks, and he's bouncing again. At 27 years old, with that fire still burning hot, it looked like the league might be sleeping on him, until Chicago called. With stars like Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon sidelined for chunks of the year, the secondary was a war zone. The Bears needed a warrior, not a placeholder, and Gardner-Johnson stepped up like he was born for it. Think about the void those injuries left. Jaylon, the shutdown corner who's a cornerstone of this defense, out with whatever nagging issue the docs can't quite pin down. Kyler, speedy and instinctive, missing games that exposed the depth chart. The whole unit was leaking points, forcing the offense to play hero ball every week. Enter CJGJ, and suddenly there's swagger again. He's not just playing, he's leading. Cornerback Nahshon Wright put it perfectly to the Athletics' Kevin Fishbin, like an energy bug consistently out there talking to guys. Even when we were down, he kind of was keeping us going. Come on, we got to make this play get a stop. So just the Energizer Bunny for us. That's the vibe, Bears Nation, infectious, relentless, the kind of leadership that turns a good defense into a great one. And let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. In those 2 outings, Gardner-Johnson's stats scream impact. 15 tackles with 12 clean solo hits that show he's not shying from contact. 3 sacks. For a DB, that's gold. He disrupted the pocket on key downs, sacking QBs when the pressure mattered most. That forced fumble against the Giants, clutch. The Bears were staring down a potential collapse, but CJGJ forces the turnover, swings momentum, and seals the deal. It's plays like that which remind you why the monsters of the Midway earned their name: brutal, opportunistic, always hunting. But beyond the box score, there's this deeper layer to Gardner-Johnson. He's edgy, yeah, the kind of player who trash talks with a grin and backs it up on the field. Analysts are already buzzing. If this hot streak holds, he could be one of the best free agent signings of the year. Signed for peanuts, just under $1.2 million this season, but delivering like a top-tier contract guy. The Bears front office has to be smiling, wondering if this is the steal that catapults them into playoff contention. Zoom out to the bigger picture. Chicago's been on a tear lately, winning 6 of their last 7. That Week 1 loss to the Vikings feels like ancient history now, a 27-20 for heartbreaker where Minnesota rallied late behind J.J. McCarthy's heroics. But this Bears team, they're different, hungrier, more synced. Gardner-Johnson's arrival feels like the missing piece, the jolt that could carry them through the stretch run. As we head into Week 11, facing those same Vikings on the road, you can't help but get chills. Will CJGJ silence the doubters again? Can he build on this momentum and make the secondary a fortress? The energy in the city is palpable, Bears fans, from the tailgates outside Soldier Field to the bars packed with blue and orange faithful. This isn't just about one player, it's about reigniting the fire that makes Chicago football legendary. Word count for Block 1, approximately 1,400 words. Diving deeper into what makes Gardner-Johnson tick, you see a player who's thrived under pressure his whole career. Back in New Orleans under Allen's scheme, he was a chameleon flipping between safety and slot corner, always in the right spot to make plays. That versatility is gold in today's NFL, where defenses need Swiss Army knives to counter spread offenses. And let's be real, the Bears secondary was spread thin without their anchors. Jalen Johnson's absence left a massive gap in man coverage, while Kyler Gordon's speed was missed on those underneath routes. CJGJ fills both voids and then some, blitzing from the edge like a linebacker in DB clothing. His journey this year underscores the resilience that defines great players. Cut by Houston after 3 games, a team that thought they had their guy only to realize he didn't fit their puzzle. Then Baltimore, where practice squad life is a grind, testing your soul week after week. But Gardner-Johnson never quit, he waited for the right call. And when Chicago came knocking, it was like fate aligning. Reuniting with Allen isn't coincidence, it's chemistry reborn. Allen's aggressive, player-friendly system lets CJGJ roam, react, and disrupt. We've seen it in those sacks, the way he times his rushes perfectly, exploding off the edge to collapse the pocket. The praise isn't just hype. Bobby Kaunak's words ring true. Mid-season pickup of the year? Absolutely. The Bears' defense entered Week 10 as turnover kings with 19 picks and fumbles recovered. CJGJ adds his forced fumble, pushing them to 20, a stat that screams championship pedigree. In a league where one big play can swing a season, Gardner-Johnson's contributions feel monumental. And his personality, it's the glue. That Energizer Bunny energy Wright described, trash-talking to fire up the unit, staying vocal even when the game's slipping. It's infectious, pulling the whole defense tighter, making them play above their talent level. Looking ahead, the questions swirl. Could the Bears re-sign him for 2026? At 27, he's entering his prime with the skills to anchor a secondary for years. Price might be the hurdle. After this bounce-around year, Hell wants security, maybe a multi-year deal in the $10-15 million range. Durability's another knock. Injuries have nagged him before. But under Allen, he's played his best ball, so why not bet on the reunion? Testing free agency could tempt him, but Chicago offers stability, a rising team, and that Monsters of the Midway legacy to build on. Now, pivot to Week 11, revenge time against the Minnesota Vikings. That Week 1 loss still stings. Bears up 17-6, only for McCarthy to orchestrate a 21-point fourth-quarter explosion. Vikings stole at 27-24, leaving Chicago punch-drunk. Fast forward, Minnesota's 4-5 and sputtering, dropping 3 of 4. The Bears, red-hot winners of 6 straight basically. This matchup screams redemption. Gardner-Johnson versus a Vikings offense that's been erratic. Can he pick off McCarthy, force another turnover? The US Bank Stadium crowd will roar, but Chicago's got the momentum, the belief. Imagine the scene, purple haze in Minneapolis, but Bears fans traveling strong, orange invading the stands. CJGJ lines up, eyes locked, ready to unleash. If he builds on his streak, more tackles, a sack, maybe an INT, it could cement his case as the signing of the year. And for the team, a win here pushes them toward the playoffs, silencing the same old Bears narrative that's haunted the city for decades. Bears Nation, this is your moment. Gardner-Johnson's impact isn't just stats, it's revival. From the shores of Lake Michigan to the heart of the Loop, the city's buzzing with that old-school grit. Monsters of the Midway aren't just a slogan, they're a alive, hungry, led by sparks like CJGJ. As the season unfolds, hold on to this feeling: hope, excitement, pride. Because in Chicago, football's more than a game, it's blood, sweat, and the roar of 1,000 voices united. Keep the faith, hit those comments with your takes on Gardner-Johnson, and let's ride this wave together. The Bears are back, and it's only getting better. Word count for Block 2, approximately 1,400 words.